Board of Commissioners. Turn my microphone on and say that again. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today for the 41st meeting of the Board of Lake County Commissioners. With all those who are willing and able, please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Grant us, O Lord, light to our understanding, prudence our investigating, foresight in our planning, sincerity in our deliberating, the grace to follow truth in our judgment. Help us to be moved in our decision, neither by fear nor by self-interest, and to do our work faithfully. May we respect the authority vested in us, for thou art the source of all authority, and may we use our directives for the common good and for thy honor and glory. Amen.
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 Thank you all. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Young.
Here.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Present.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Here, thank you. We have before us the meeting minutes for September 30, 2021, October 7, 2021, and October 12, 2021. Do we have a motion to approve same, waiving reading thereof?
So moved. Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes. Okay, we're now at our first public comment portion. Is there anyone wishing to address this board at this time? Yes, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Oh, ma'am? Oh, okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to thank you for your service first, and then
Thank you.
I really don't have much to say. I just wanted to give you a handout.
If you could, your
And-
name and address for the record, please.
Certainly.
Thank you.
My name is Roxanne Premont, and I live on Maple Grove Road in Willoughby Hills.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so the article I'm going to give you is just a handout. It's just an FYI, so that you might be aware of it. Is taken into account as you go about your responsibilities in life. And thank you again for your service.
Thank you.
It concerns the CEO and different energy utility providers talking about blackouts for this winter. And naturally, we all want to stay warm, so I don't know what's involved and who you may interact with, but nevertheless, it will possibly affect Lake County residents, so I thought you should know. So if I might have permission to just approach each of you and just give you one of these handouts, that's all.
I just want to give them to the clerk.
Oh, give it to the clerk,
So that
no
they get
problem.
to us. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
And that is all. Thank you very much.
Oh, very good. Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. President, I just want to say a special thank you to my neighbor in Willoughby Hills. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Music, I believe you had a comment?
John Music, 45 Coventry Drive, Painesville Township. Just a couple things, one before Randy leaves, and it was mentioned about possibly the senior discount on some utilities possible, so I want to thank Commissioner Plechnik and Randy for talking about that. And also that, as we all know, next week on Tuesday, that KI pill will be going out, and you can pick that up. So, and it's like I said, I just want to give two quick quotes here. It says, one person can, this is from one of our former presidents, it says, one person can make a difference and everyone should try. Things do not happen, things are made to happen. So, I just wanted to mention, I do believe in those statements, and if someone doesn't suggest it or do something about it, it probably, in all probability, will never happen. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Anyone else wishing to address the board? Sir?
Dave Lima, 7774 Litchfield Drive. I know Vanessa Pesek sent in a comment to be read, but Jason isn't here, so I'm wondering, is that going to be read into the record, or shall I read it for her?
If you have it, read it for her, because we're not accepting those. We stopped probably a couple months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't.
See, you miss a couple meetings? See what you
Yeah, I
miss.
wasn't aware of that.
No, but but if you wish while you have it, that's.
Well, yes, this is, these are the thoughts of Vanessa Pesic. She lives in Concord. And I think I gave my name and address.
I believe you did, yes?
Did I?
Yes.
You have it? Okay. Great. Thank you.
As she says with a twinkle in her eye.
We have received notice that it is imminent that a request for proposal for a design professional to provide programming consultant services will be with an option to proceed as the criteria architect will be issued for building a new jail. The new jail would have up to 600 beds, almost double the size of the existing jail. The question is, does the county have a concrete plan for financing this $100 million jail? And is it in good faith to ask for bids from companies who spend much time and effort in responding if the financing hasn't been firmly established? And she thanks you for responding to her questions.
Sure. And the short answer to that is, and this is, I'm going to speak for myself, I hope that my colleagues would appreciate this because we have talked about this at length. We need to know what the actual cost is going to be, and that's what this process is about. So that's the stance. I believe in putting the horse in front of the cart, not the cart in front of the horse. So this is just another step in the process. I don't know if gentlemen, you want to comment or add to that, but that's my perspective. Gentlemen, if not, moving on.
I would just say that we've already spent almost about 100,000 from. We can talk about this all day, but I just want to say we do have a difference of opinion on how to proceed on that. So it hasn't been decided yet, at least not in my mind, and I just speak strictly for myself as well.
Very good. Okay, anyone else in the audience wishing to address the board? Very good, thank you. Moving on to the agenda. Madam Clerk, first item, please.
In the Utilities Department, resolution increasing appropriation in Lake County Department of Utilities Solid Waste Operating Fund.
Move to approve?
Second.
Discussion. None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution increasing appropriations and transferring cash within Lake County Department of Utilities Water Operating Fund and Project Fund 595 Aquarius Motor Control Center Replacement Project 451W.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion. None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing the county to participate in the U.S. Communities Program through the CCAO and executing a contract with Garland DBS Incorporated for the roof replacement for the Fairport Harbor Lift Station in an amount not to exceed $57,948.
Move to approve?
Second.
Discussion. Randy, you want to give a little background?
Sure, this is just an upgrade, or a new roof on one of our lift stations in Fairport Harbor, part of our capital improvement plan. The U.S. Communities Program is something we've taken advantage of in the past to do similar projects. Essentially what it is, it's a publicly bid work, and then we can take advantage of that lower cost and enter right into a contract, and generally we'll be able to do a project in about half the time compared to actually doing an individual bid for each project. So it's something we've taken advantage of in the past, and we've had really good luck with it, and we look forward to this project.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Anything further? Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution approving plan specifications and estimates of cost in the amount of $145,967.51 for a water line for Washington Place subdivision in the city of Eastlake, job number 21-36.
Move to approve?
Second.
Discussion. Again, Randy, you want to give a little background there, please?
This is simply a brand new subdivision that's privately funded in the city of Eastlake that'll eventually become a public water line.
Very good. Anything else? Okay. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
And Job and Family Services Department, resolution approving Lake County Department of Job and Family Services vouchers, date of warrant, October 22nd, 2021, in the amount of $411,390.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
And the Commissioner's Office, resolution authorizing execution of a grant agreement with Energy Harbor for implementation of the Lake County Radiological Emergency Response Plan for the Perry Nuclear Power Plant and other general emergency preparedness activities conducted at the Emergency Operations Center on behalf of the Lake County Emergency Management Agency, effective January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2023.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? We have our EMA Director, Joe Busher, with us. Joe, did you want to comment on this? I understand this grant process went as smooth as I think it's ever gone. You want to maybe shed a little inside baseball with us?
Yeah, this is a continuation of a grant that's been in place for decades. It's a partnership between Energy Harbor and now Energy Harbor. It used to be First Energy, then CEI. It's a great partnership. In fact, if you remember the last contract, we hired an employee to assist the emergency planner provided by Energy Harbor. It's a continuation of that employee on our staff to educate the off-site response agencies. And the rest of it was basically name changes. It was a very simple, straightforward process done within hours.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Always good to hear things go clean sometimes.
Very good.
Anything else for our EMA Director? Very good. Thank you, sir. Okay, if there's nothing else, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution awarding a bid contract to James Martin Contractor Services, LLC, for the Lake County 4th Floor ADA Toilet Improvements Project for the Lake County Board of Commissioners.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution declaring the Lake County Board of Commissioners regular meeting schedule beginning November 18, 2021.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing accepting the recommendation from Lake Development Authority and approving Lakeshore improvement projects and the Lake Community Shoreline Improvement Special Improvement District.
Move to approve.
Second.
And discussion, I believe we have some representatives here. Do you want to give the name of the new name of your organization?
Sure. Thank you, Commissioners. My name is Patrick Mahorsick. I'm the Deputy Director of Planning and Development for the Lake Development Authority, along with Tim Cahill, our Chief Financial Officer. I'm pinch hitting for both Director Anderson and Administrator Boyd today. I'm actually going to have Mayor Morley from the City of Eastlake, Mayor Regovich from the City of Willowick, and is Mayor Fiala here from Willoughby? They've been the spearhead behind this. They could talk more about what the Lake Community Shoreline Special Improvement District is, and then Tim and I can answer questions about the county's involvement.
Very good. Thanks, Patrick. Gentlemen, always good to see you in chambers.
Good to see you. We're here today to hopefully entice you and thank you for considering this. The SID has been something that since 2019 we started. We had over 200 people, 200 residents come to the gymnasium in Willowick and say, hey, we're losing 40 feet of shoreline every year and this is a problem. What are we going to do? Where's all the government money coming from? I'm like, well, there's no such money, but what can we do? So at that time, the state changed the law to allow the SID to exist so that they can put this as an assessment on their taxes. So essentially, we had to go out and find a bank to fund this. We had to get people signed up, and so it's been a big undertaking over this last couple of years. We have over $3 million in the first round here of projects ready to go, and that's in of the 13 communities that we have involved, which is all of Lake County and Euclid. Euclid will fund through Cuyahoga County. but all Lake County will fund through the SID we have to protect the shoreline from erosion, which we haven't seen since the probably early 70s. The lake levels have been so high. So this will allow our county to hopefully maintain its size and not be the truly smallest county in Lake County. So
I'll just give a little, Mayor Dennis Morley and the president of the Special Improvement District Group, because my other mayors always somehow get me to not volunteer, but appoint me.
It's called volunteer.
So as Rich said, that there's 13 communities. We are the largest SID in the state. It all started back in 2019 when Commissioner Young was a representative and Senator Eklund pushed SB 51. We ended up having a pretty good turnout at our first town hall, probably over 200 residents from all our cities. And then we ended up putting this together. Wouldn't have been able to get done without the help when Ron was in the state office with Senator Eklund. Also got a hold of you, Commissioner Hamercheck, when we first started looking at this, started working with Jason Boyd and Peter Zahersky at that time. Since Patrick has taken over his new position, we've been working through it. Amanda Hopkins through McDonald's group, McDonald Hopkins group, Amanda Gordon. We've been just moving well ahead, and we're finally to the point, once these resolutions are passed, that our residents can start meeting with the banks. They've filled out, as you always know, paperwork after paperwork after paperwork, and now it's time to get their erosion problems fixed. So we would appreciate that this resolution go through.
And as long as we're getting a little history here, I'm going to give special thanks to Mayor Morley. You definitely took this torch up very early on. It was truly appreciated. You're working with mayors and managers. Your leadership was essential in getting this across the finish line. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the value that our own Mike Matus, Budget and Finance Director, brought to the table very early on in the process when the lending institutions wanted the county to encumber more money than we were actually going to be loaning out. Didn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. Mike Matus, and working closely with Amanda Gordon and other team members, got it to a more reasonable, manageable collateralizing, I believe is the word we're looking for. And I appreciate your efforts in making sure that everybody understood the complexities of all of this. And I believe you are correct. We are also, I believe we're working with Euclid on this. Mm-hmm. We are the single, or will be, the single largest shoreline improvement district in Lake Erie, but I believe we may actually be one of the largest, if not the largest, on the Great Lakes. There's some debate on that, but hey, we're definitely doing good things.
Well, I appreciate the comments, but without working with Rich and Mayor Fiala and Mayor Ed Clow, which isn't here today, that was our core group. The four of us got together, and then when I got a hold of you and then Jason, so I mean, everyone deserves credit, not just me. Unfortunately, they always put me in the spot to push everyone to get things done. But at the end of the day, as I've said in many of these meetings, we've all worked together regardless of politics, and that's the only way we're going to get things done in this county. And with that, I appreciate it. I'll be back up for the other resolutions.
No, there you go.
With Mike Matus and Jason Boyd, that's how we got a hold of Amanda Gordon. We had another firm that had it before, and it wasn't going nowhere. So they did a lot of heavy lifting, and without that relationship there, would have never happened.
Agreed.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Sir.
call me a proud professor because I am, but I always meet with some excitement the achievements that Pete Zahersky has had working with former mayor, current executive director of the Lake Development Authority, Dave Anderson, and it's wonderful to see how this work that he's done is brought to fruition by Patrick and David to really do something historic with the biggest SID in the state of Ohio, to really preserve our shoreline, because we always talk about increasing access, but we also have to preserve the resource. So, special thanks to Peter there, as well as mayors and managers, Mayor Morley, our staff. But I have to admit a little bias there. I'm excited to see Peter's work and his continued good work for Northeast Ohio as part of Team NEO.
You make an excellent point, and being proud of your students is something that is not expressed enough in society. So yeah, Peter did a tremendous heavy lifting there, and Patrick definitely got it across the goal line, if I could use that term.
Thank you. And I just wanted to outline what exactly is going to be passed. What the Lake Development Authority is approving is would be a credit enhancement. The Port Authority, or the Development Authority, which is a port authority, will be issuing $5 million in special assessment revenue bonds. Those will be purchased by Erie Bank, and will be the bonds will be paid back to the special assessment on those properties. So if someone were to sell their home on that property, that assessment stays with the property, not the individual homeowner. I mean, not the individual who originally took out the assessment. So right now, according to Amanda Gordon and the rest of the SID board, there's about 30 to 35 properties already who will take advantage of this. That'll be a total of around $3.5 to $4 million. So, and we have a option to, Erie Bank has the option to purchase up to $20 million in our agreement in these bonds. So it's a great program. We're happy to get over the finish line, and thank you for your support and all this, as well as along with Administrator Boyd. So thank you.
And before you go, though, let's make sure that the public understands these homeowners are the ones taking on the financial responsibility individually through assessments on their property. The county, through what we called the port historically, your economic development, the one, I'm going to let you say the proper name.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get that stuff
Sure.
in my head. There's a modest money pledged in comparison. That's
Correct.
for that 1% bed tax.
Correct.
Commissioner Young, back in his days as a House rep, was instrumental in working with our then Port Authority to get that established for projects within 1 mile of the Lakeshore.
Correct.
So the general public is not at risk on any of this, just
Correct.
to be abundantly clear.
Correct. Yep. The county won't be responsible for for anything if defaults or things like that. That's the point of that credit enhancement. We're just there to provide collateral, but the county won't be on the hook for anything.
And this was an alternative to an old loan program that some wanted us to reinvigorate that would have left the county on the hook.
Correct.
And historically, the reason that program died was I think it was used perhaps only twice in the entire state, and both of those wound up with their respective communities being on the hook.
Sure. Correct.
So we shied away from that. We declined the encouragement to revive that horse that should remain dead. And you guys came up with a really good plan that benefits people, and the people that it's benefiting are the ones who are also at risk if anything should go sideways. So
Correct. Thank you.
Anything else, gentlemen? Very good. Thank you so much. Okay, if there's nothing else, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing execution of agreements between the Lake County Board of Commissioners and various entities and organizations for the fiscal year 2021 Community Development Block Grant Funds.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
And the Finance Department resolution approving payment of bills as listed on the Commissioner's Approval Journal in the amount of $2,047,332.84.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution approving purchase orders as listed on the Commissioner's Purchase Order Approval Journal in the amount of $922,632.10.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution increasing appropriations for various non-general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution transferring cash and appropriations within various general and non-general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes. Moving on to departmental reports. Utilities. Randy?
Thank you, Commissioner. A few months ago, and maybe even a year ago, we talked about the City of Kirtland and a sanitary sewer project there. EPA has issued orders to the city to install sewers in what they call the Old Town area. We've been working with Courtney's engineering firm to design that project, and we will have our first live information meeting a week from today, 7 o'clock at the Kirtland High School gym, to discuss with the residents the project and timelines and that sort of thing. We have had a couple of Zoom information meetings, but this will give everybody an opportunity to ask questions and discuss. It's an informal meeting, and look forward to that next Thursday evening.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, sir. Anything else for Randy? Very good. Job and Family Services, Suzanne.
Good morning, Commissioners. I just wanted to provide an update. A couple of weeks ago, I mentioned that the Kaylee Receiving Home, which is owned and operated by Job and Family Services here in Lake County, was going to be going through the accreditation process. That assessment happened last week. Preliminary reports were very positive from the assessor, and we are hoping to get our final results 6 to 8 weeks from now.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Very good, thank you. Our county administrator continues to represent Lake County in the opioid litigation going on in federal court in Cleveland, so Jason Boyd is excused for this meeting. Moving on to our clerk. Madam Clerk.
Yes, the next regular Commissioners meeting is going to be next Thursday, October 28th at 10 a.m. Thank you.
Very good, thank you, ma'am. Legal.
No report, Commissioners.
Very good, thank you, sir. Old business. Do you have any old business to come before the board? Okay, moving on to new business. Do we have any new business? If not, I've got one that I always like to share good news, as you know. I got a communication from Chief Powers. He is the fire chief of Wickliffe. And let's see, I am pleased to inform you that the Lake County Fire Chief's Hazardous Intervention Team was re-verified as a FEMA Type 1 Hazardous Materials Response Team by the State of Ohio's Hazardous Materials Technical Assistance Committee. There are only 10 teams in the state of Ohio with this designation, and he offered a special thanks to everyone for their continued support in maintaining the Type 1 status, and this helps open up many grant opportunities for all of our communities to share within the area. And since we have our EMA director, Joe Busher, I know this is something that you directly have been involved with, and your agency is a key player in all this, so if you'd care to give a little insights there. Color commentary, how's that?
I had the pleasure of being at the evaluation there yesterday. This is another great example of the public safety forces we have here in Lake County, in this case the fire chiefs. This team consists of members from most every community here in Lake County, fire department wise. Also, Lubbock Corporation has members on this team, and also the health district. They have outstanding equipment. When you pulled into the parking lot yesterday in Willoughby, I was amazed at all the equipment we have here in Lake County. It's stored throughout our county at many fire departments, and now the new regional response facility that's been put up in Menor. But it's a very tough process. Our LEPC has tech who works at my EOC, put many hours into putting all the documentation together. The fire chiefs did an outstanding presentation to the committee. And then all the equipment was evaluated. Records for training were reviewed. And at the end of the day, we are now a Type 1 team, continue to be a Type 1 team, and that's a very outstanding thing for our county.
Agreed. We do tend to be supportive of our public safety forces, and our public safety forces continue to be good supporters of the community. So that's an excellent working relationship.
And hopefully that helps us to continue to get the grant funding we have. Just bought a lot of equipment for this county.
Indeed. Indeed. Thank you so very much.
No
Anything
problem.
else for our director? Sir, thank you. Okay, is there any other new business?
Mr. President,
Yes.
a few acknowledgments. First, many of you know that our new Lake County Treasurer, Mike Zurin, spent last Sunday running across Lake County, a nearly 38-mile trek from Willowick to Madison to bring more awareness to special needs and how we can support and volunteer for organizations like Deepwood and related nonprofits to take care of the children and adults in Lake County who need that extra support. I know he was very tired. I greeted Mike at the finish line, but he ran dutifully from 7 a.m. to almost 4 o'clock, I believe, to cross the entire of Lake County to bring more awareness to Deepwood. So I can't say how much I really can't express how much I support the work and the effort that Mike put in. And he'll be back at it again at Deepwood, hosting a trick-or-treat for all of their residents. Followed up the next day, this weekend, on Sunday, doing a trick-or-treat with the Salvation Army. So Mike has really worked hard to be out there and in the community. I also wanted to say a special thank you to our county prosecutor, Chuck Colson, for giving me a view of Lake County I have never had before. I got to see this very building from about 1,600 feet up, and it gave me a new perspective of what a remarkable place we call our home, getting to see the Shoreline view out all the way from Cleveland to Perry Nuclear Power Plant in a Piper Cherokee. I will say I certainly felt safe in the hands of a pilot who might not admit it, but has been flying for over 50 years, and it was special to take off and land at the Lake County Executive Airport, which we're working hard to rebrand for our economic development in this county, run by our Lake Development Authority, formerly known as the Port Authority. So a real special thanks there. And while we're mentioning the prosecutor's office, I want to give our assistant prosecutor, Mike DeLeon, the opportunity to introduce the newest member of our team who happens to be with us today.
Kelly Eccles, who's here, Mr. Colson hired her from Judge Lucci's court, and she was top-notch there for 18 years, and I expect great things from her here in our office.
Thank you.
Kelly,
and welcome.
Well, very good, Commissioner. It's hard to believe Mike Zern is that much of an athlete. I'm just trying to do the math here. My goodness, that was a grueling pace he must have kept running across. How many miles did you say?
38 miles.
In how many hours?
Let's see, 7 to nearly 4.
Wow, that's an incredible pace. Get that boy in the Olympics here. Wow. That's impressive. That's impressive. No two ways about it. And I am so happy that Prosecutor Colson and you had a great time together, that he didn't ask you to walk back. So that worked out well. So, those are always good things. All right. Is there anything else new business-wise? No? All righty then. Moving on to public comments. Mayor Morley, I believe you had something you wanted to add, sir? Oh, I just noticed Chuck Colson was in the audience and I'm making jokes here, so hello, sir.
That first one was pretty good, though. So I do see under 10 the resolutions for the block grant. So again, I want to thank Rhea for all the work that she's assisted us in trying to get this through. The block grant that we did get is for our parking lot at the Captain Stadium across the street that the city owns. I just wanted to understand that someone recognized it is called the Lake County Captains. Throughout the years, I know everyone at that table knows that the city has bared the brunt of that cost until 2026. So I appreciate that someone looked into that, and that will duly do well for our people coming to the games, and then just the making the parking lot upgraded. And then also under the resolution for Washington Place, Randy left, but again, they've been working with the people that are in charge of that group, so we're looking forward to the 32 homes going there. And in the summer, you probably look for another water line for another 32 homes going in where the old Taft was. So again, appreciate the hard work that everyone does here for the county, assisting with the city. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Very good. And yes, Rhea and the team over at our Planning Commission, they do an amazing job shepherding us through this process and working with our applicants. So that is a good thing to hear, and I appreciate your expressing your gratitude to them. So thank you. Okay, anyone else wishing to address? Mr. Music.
John Music, 45 Coventry Drive. I just want to point out some thanks to two of our officials here in Lake County. One of them, Jim Gills, of course, isn't here today, but as you know, I live in Painesville Township, and since 2006, I've been working on that flooding problem we had for Center Park Estates. And I was told so many things, I don't know. Well, finally, yesterday, I was out, they were in my backyard, the second consultant they've had there. So hopefully, we're going to come to a conclusion on that flooding problem we've had for a long time. And, a lot of the water from the fairgrounds comes over into our ditch and just floods it because you just can't take all that water. So anyhow, I just wanted to thank them. I heard Mr. Gills and Bill Thompson from the township were out there walking with them. So hopefully I'm going to see a completion of that project here next year or two. So I just want to thank Mr. Engineering Department there. And secondly, I want to thank our sheriff. I was at the trustee meeting on Tuesday of this week, and it seems like we're getting a little closer to an agreement to improve our law enforcement in the township. And I want to thank him for all the work and time and work he's put into that, and hopefully we can come to a resolution. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Anyone else wishing to address the board at this time? Okay, seeing none. I think this kind of brings us to our end of our meeting, but I feel I need to add, have we got a last slide there? I'm looking over to our IT guy here. So, Commissioner Plechnik, how we're always giving compliments. I believe it's time to compliment you. We've got Fox 8 News is recognizing Commissioner John Plechnik as one of Cleveland's own for his decade of service to Case Western Reserve University as a professor.
Cleveland State.
Cleveland State. Oh, good heavens. And the sad thing is, ladies and gentlemen, I actually wrote down Cleveland and I said Case. I am so sorry, but thank you. I think you know where my mind was. But that was just this morning. So, very good. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you are also a tenured professor. And how old are you, sir?
Older than I used to be, 37, but the last 10 years have definitely been the most rewarding of my life because I've been able to share them with my students and my neighbors in Lake County.
Excellent, excellent. Commissioner Young, anything you want to add, sir?
I'm a little bit concerned. Is that on a beer can?
No, I think that's the Cleveland skyline.
Congratulations, John.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, this brings us to our conclusion of our meeting. There is a request for an executive session. The topic is pending or imminent litigation. There will be no business to be conducted afterwards. Do we have a motion to adjourn for the reasons so stated?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik,